If safety is of importance to you and your family, especially in your community, then you're gonna wanna watch this video until the end. In this video, we're gonna be going through the Calgary crime map, specifically non-domestic violence, break and entering into a dwelling, street robbery, theft of vehicle, and breaking and entering of other premises. Now, a disclaimer is no matter what city you live in or neighborhood, there's always gonna be good and bad people. There's always gonna be stuff that happens, even in the safest neighborhoods, but we wanna make sure that you as a consumer or a home buyer or seller are educated on the full crime map in the city of Calgary. So we're gonna jump on the iPad here and we're gonna start with the neighborhood of Beltline. Now, Beltline is the inner city core of Calgary. We have lots of apartment condos and businesses and commercial stuff. So let's dive in and take a look. Again, like I said, we're located right in the core. If we look at the Beltline, it's really isolated red on that crime map, meaning this is gonna have a fairly high degree of crime. Again, this is gonna be in most major metropolitan cities anyway, but the crime count was 295. Again, the categories that we're covering are non-domestic violence, break and enter into a dwelling, street robbery, theft of vehicle, and break and enter off premises. So as of 2023, we've had 295 crimes in the Beltline. We also want to give you guys some updated numbers as far as pricing and what is happening in each of these neighborhoods specifically. So if we jump on the iPad again, in the Beltline, we've had 53 sales, up 17.8% year over year. The total residential price is up 13.5% to $353,000. Our apartments are up about 14% at $348,000. And our months of supply is sitting at about 2.2, and that is down 27.5%. So regardless of the crime map of the Beltline, we're still seeing a very low level of inventory and prices on the rise. Next on our list is the community of Saddle Ridge in Northeast Calgary. Now, one of the things I do love about Saddle Ridge is the proximity to the Calgary airport. It is also really close to get to downtown. You're maybe a 15 or 20-minute drive. You have easy access up to the northern part of Calgary if you're heading up towards Edmonton or Red Deer, and overall it's a fairly central location. Now, that being said, it does have a relatively high crime count as it relates to some of the other neighborhoods in Calgary. If we jump on my screen over here, we're looking at 148 total crimes, equal to the year of 2023. Again, it's fairly red on the map relative to some of these other areas, and we wanted to isolate on this map where the total isolated crime count is actually taking place. Now, if we jump onto the monthly stats of Saddle Ridge, we can see that they've had about 36 sales, which is up 71% year over year. Again, just because there is a higher crime rate here, the total residential price is still up 11.3%, which is fantastic. The semi-detached price is up 15.6%. The detached price is up 15.2%. Apartments have risen 27% in Saddle Ridge, and the row prices are also up 23.6%. Months of supply is down 47% year over year, and we're sitting at about 1.36 months. Again, like I said with the Beltline, just because this has a higher crime rate does not mean this is not a popular neighborhood. We still have record low levels of inventory, and prices are on the rise in Saddle Ridge. So next up on our list is the community of Martindale. Now, Martindale is located in Northeast Calgary. This is just south of Saddle Ridge, which is the neighborhood we just talked about in our previous point. And again, we want to isolate that crime map to see where the most red saturation is. So with Martindale, there were a total of 152 crimes in 2023 as per the community crime statistics map. Some positive features of Martindale: similar to Saddle Ridge, you're right close to the Calgary airport. You could jump on Métis Trail and you're at the airport in less than 10 minutes. There's lots of really delicious ethnic cuisine and different shops around as well. Now, if we jump on the iPad here, we want to go through the stats as well for Martindale. So Martindale, there's only been 6 sales, which is actually relatively low. That's down 50% year over year. The total detached price is up almost 20% in Martindale. So again, what we're seeing with some of these neighborhoods, they weren't as popular 3 to 5 years ago, but just due to affordability and price point, more people have gone to these neighborhoods, and that has increased the prices drastically. Our row prices are also up 26%, And it's actually an interesting, staggering stat because the months of supply is actually up 38% year over year, and that's at 3.3, which is actually almost double the normal for the city of Calgary, which is sitting around that 1.5 range. There's actually quite a few homes for sale in the community of Martindale. Could it be related to crime? Tough to say. I'll let you decide. Next on the list is the community of Marro. Now, one of the things I do love about Marro is the proximity to downtown. You have really good access to some of the major arteries to get you around the city. If we jump on the map over here, Memorial Drive will take you right downtown, which is great. And 16th Avenue is just on the north side of the community. And that's the Highway 1, which is gonna take you all the way to Vancouver if you drive for 10 hours. And it's also gonna take you all the way to Medicine Hat and Saskatchewan, also if you drive for like 5 or 6 hours. But that being said, it does have good access to some of those major arteries, which makes it a good place if you need to travel to and from your house to work. But again, if we look at that crime map, it's pretty isolated red, and there's quite a few crimes happening in Marro. So on the crime map over here, we're looking at 198 total crimes, and we're gonna jump into the numbers to show you what's been happening real estate-wise in this community. So let's jump into some of these real estate numbers in this community. So if we look on the iPad here, sales are up about 40% year over year. The number is 7, so it's fairly small. But one of the things that I wanted to refer to was that total detached price. So we're up 21.4% in this neighborhood year over year, which is a massive gain. Again, that means that more and more people are moving to these neighborhoods due to affordability, and that's creating some pressure on the pricing, driving them up to numbers like 20% in the past 12 months. The other thing that's noteworthy is the months of supply at 0.57. That is a crazy downward trend year over year, and that's down 71% year over year. Again, this is likely to affordability, but as you can see on the crime map, we're experiencing larger volumes of crime in this neighborhood. So I'll leave it up to you if this is a place to call home. Next on our list is the community of Forest Lawn. Now, although this has a higher crime rate than a lot of neighborhoods in the city of Calgary, Forest Lawn is near and dear to my heart because I actually worked at the Sobeys when I was 14 for about 4 years, and I was a deli manager and a meat manager back in the day, and I met a lot of cool people. I have a lot of great relationships, and Forest Lawn is still near and dear to my heart. But anyway, let's jump into the crime map. So in Forest Lawn, we're sitting at about 184 total crimes for 2023. Again, it's fairly red and isolated. You do have the LRT that runs parallel on 17th Avenue in Forest Lawn, so that can get some traffic from other neighborhoods and other people coming to the neighborhood, and that could be in part why there is a higher crime rate. Typically, you will see higher crimes closer to those train stations where you're located, regardless of what city you're in, so that could be playing a factor. One of the benefits that I do like about this neighborhood is there are a ton of good restaurants. There is amazing faux restaurants, more beautiful, delicious ethnic cuisine. You have easy access on 17th Ave to get you to and from work and into downtown. Again, Memorial Drive is also in close proximity. And overall, accessibility-wise, this is a great neighborhood. Let's jump into the stats. So if we break down some of the numbers in Forest Lawn, we can see that sales are at 13, which is actually an odd stat because it's up 550% year over year. Obviously, there was not a whole lot of sales in the last 12 months. New listings are up 14, so that's up 27.3%. But one of the things I want to focus on is, again, the pricing in these neighborhoods and how much they have increased in value in the last 12 months. Our detached price in Forest Lawn is up 35%. That is huge. The semi-detached is up 36%. So again, these neighborhoods were undervalued quite a bit, but since that LRT station got put in, and affordability and housing supply and interest rates, that has driven up the prices in some of these neighborhoods. Our months of supply is at 0.85, and that is down 88% year over year. So we've covered a lot of neighborhoods in the Northeast, which is typically where we're gonna see that higher crime count. But for the next one, we're gonna actually go to the community of Bowness. Now, the thing that we want to be aware of with Bowness is it is going through gentrification. There are a lot of new developments happening, and there are some beautiful high-end $2 million homes that back onto the Bow River. It still has a high crime count because we do have a lot of higher density in Bowness, But let's jump on the crime map to take a look at some of the stats. So if we scroll into Bowness, we can see that it has great access on 16th Avenue to get you out towards the mountains. You can also take 16th Avenue, that Highway 1, and cut across the entire city of Calgary. If we look on the crime map, we've got 159 total crimes, which relative to some of the neighboring communities, we can see that it's quite red and isolated on the map here. But overall, I find that Bowness is a pretty great community. So let's jump into stats in Bowness. Now, disclaimer, while I was filming this video, when we're talking about the sales year over year, I'm actually pulling the monthly statistics. So in Forest Lawn, it was up 550% monthly, not year over year. So every time in those previous neighborhoods where I said yearly, it's actually monthly. So jump into Bowness. Sales, we've had 12 sales for this month in Bowness. This is for the month of January. That's up 100% year over year. Our new listings are down to 15, which is down about 16%. But again, one of the things we want to look at is the actual price. So year over year, the detached price is up 28.9% for detached. Semi-detached is up 20%. The row price is almost up 20%. The apartment prices are almost up 20%. And the months of supply are sitting at 1.58, which is down almost 57% year over year. Again, I've said it in all these past neighborhoods too. More and more people are moving here. Prices are going up. Inventory is down, and more people are calling Alberta home. So that concludes our video on the Calgary crime map. If you guys have any comments on where you think the safest or maybe the unsafe neighborhoods are in Calgary, we'd love to hear in the comment section below. If you are someone that is looking to buy or sell in Calgary and surrounding areas, we would love to serve you, and you can connect with us using the link in the description below. Again, my name is Riley Nichols with the Bricks Real Estate Group, and we'll see you on the next one.